Saturday, February 22nd. The goal for the day is 10 miles around the Baltimore Harbor. I'm gonna start here in the Canton waterfront, loop 5 miles out and back. It's a long endurance zone 2 ride today, so the pace is gonna be around 10:30 to 11:15. That's the range I'm going for. Nothing fast, super slow, watching my heart rate the whole time. So that's the plan. 10 miles, Baltimore City, my first time running around the harbor. It should be beautiful. It's around the water, as we can see. Probably not the cleanest or safest water to be in, but it should be very beautiful nonetheless. So let's go run around the Baltimore inner city harbor. Just look at this sparkle on my face. Absolutely beautiful. Being near the water is one of my happy places. Peaceful, the sounds, the birds. I love it. I'm wearing the New Balance Fuel Cell Elites, my carbon plated race day shoes. It's the first time I'm wearing them on a long run. It's so hard to run slow in these things. I keep checking my watch and I gotta tone it down. So it's a good sign moving forward for Ironman 70.3 Texas and the Broad Street run to know that my pace will pick up and I should be able to achieve the goal pace that I have set in mind. So these are super comfortable and they're fast. Let's keep going. 2 miles in, 8 to go. We have arrived at the Baltimore Inner Harbor, crossing a bridge right in front of the aquarium right now. Wow, today is fucking beautiful. The money shot of Baltimore Inner City Harbor. Look at that thing. Beautiful view. Beautiful view on the morning run. Let's keep going. One thing that everybody wants more of that they don't have and you can't buy is time. Time and health. Sure, you can do things. If you have money, you can afford better food, better doctors, but if you have time and you're healthy, that's what life's all about. You can do whatever you want, regardless of how busy you are. One thing that I like to tell myself is, if it's important to you, you make time for it.
Yes.
And for me, that's being healthy, because as someone who just turned 29 in January, being in the hospital for a week when I was 18, 20, 21, and everyone else in that same GI stomach ward, they're, older, they're 50s, 80-year-olds.
Wow.
I shouldn't be in that position. And it's not because I wasn't treating myself right. I was diagnosed when I was 18, and I don't belong in the hospital those times. So I try to do everything in my power to eat right, to exercise, to minimize stress. So, Crohn's disease, it's when your body attacks itself. It's the whole GI tract from mouth to butt, basically. And I take my medicine, I eat right, I exercise, but there are some things that I can't control, and those are the things I can't control, but I try to control the things that I can control.
Bro.
And I think everybody has that power to do. And if it's important to you, you make time for it. If that's family, if that's exercise, if that's friends, whatever it is, you'll make the time for it.
Bro, you hit on something that's powerful. Something that I always say to people is, it's my version of the serenity prayer. Things I can change, things I can't change, and the wisdom to know the difference, right? You can't get lost and get upset that you have Crohn's disease. You can't allow that to overcome your emotions. It is what it is. You can't control that part. But what you can control is how you eat. What you can control is you're out here working out. What you can control is your mindset, right? And I find that oftentimes, man, people, they allow themselves to be overpowered by the mental challenges, and they forget that some things they can't control and some things they can. To your point, time is of the essence. We can't afford to waste time, right? And then what happens is they just lose sight of the idea of persevering through whatever the challenge is, man. And so, like, literally, I'm listening to your story, I'm like, I'm moved, I'm inspired. I'm not about to go run no damn half marathon because the brother don't swim that well.
You could walk a half K, you could walk a 5K,
Absolutely.
Whatever it is. So I just started training. I played sports in high school. I was a varsity lacrosse player. I played in college. But ever since college, I stopped playing sports. I hadn't ran in 8 years. So obviously, when I have to go into this Ironman prep and I got to run a half marathon, I got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
My goal the first day was to run 1 mile.
Okay.
Half a mile in, I felt like my shins were about to explode, and I had to quit. I couldn't even run a half mile on the treadmill. So from where I was 11 weeks ago to where I am now, where I'm coming out here to casually run a 10-mile run around the Baltimore Harbor.
Whoa. How many weeks?
11 weeks.
11 weeks, and you're at 10 miles from not even being able to do a half
Exactly.
mile. Bro, that's crazy.
Exactly. So I'm on the treadmill some days. The first time I hit a double-digit run, I was on the treadmill crying, because I look back and I think of that day when I was in the gym and I couldn't even run a half a mile. And that's coming from someone who was a four-year varsity athlete.
Wow.
I played for Team Israel in college. Like, I was, in the most humble, modest way, I was a pretty good lacrosse player.
Yeah.
I was an athlete my whole life, and I couldn't even run a half a mile 11 weeks ago.
Wow.
So it shows that if you set your mind to something and you are consistent with it, you will make it happen. Consistency is key. People always ask me, how do I get in shape? How do I get a six-pack? How do I look the way you do? And I tell them, it's consistency.
Yeah.
I do the same thing day in and day out, and it's about being rigid in the goal and vision and flexible in the details. If my goal is to be this or that, or to run this half Ironman, but I'm busy at work, instead of maybe running that 5-mile run I have to do, maybe I run a 1-mile run or a 2-mile run.
Something.
But you're consistent. You're still doing the thing. You might have to shrink it down a little bit. If you like going to the gym and exercising, but your normal workout's 1 hour, but you got family obligations, maybe you go for 20 minutes.
Bro,
you just change it up, but you're still staying rigid with that vision and goal.
Nah, I love it, man. How do people find you if they want to follow your journey, man?
Yeah, so I just started making YouTube videos.
Okay.
Jory, Jory, Parson, Parson.
right.
I'm just documenting medical student to Ironman 70.3. It's a pretty small niche, but it shows, because in med school, we're busy.
Bro,
we got a lot of work, we're studying a lot. So to find the time to come out here and do the thing,
It's powerful.
and be consistent and have, the medical illness, I try to inspire people to get out there and do it.
Look, you've inspired me, bro. So thank you, man. And thank you for allowing me to actually just post up and do this interview.
Of course. My
Jory,
pleasure.
Meeting
My
you,
pleasure.
this is a pleasure, man. Like literally, I'm motivated because I would have never thought you had Crohn's disease. I would have never thought, oh man, this dude is trying to get
It's
a
tough. You
workout
can't
in.
see Crohn's on the outside. Some people, it's a spectrum. Some people look very sick. Some people look healthy.
Yeah.
You know, when I've been in the hospital, I have an 8-inch incision on my stomach because they had to open me up when I was first diagnosed. They didn't know what was wrong. Opened me up, put everything back in, and then I was in the hospital for 10 days. But I have this big 8-inch scar on my stomach that shows it. And every time I'm in the hospital, it's for about a week.
Wow.
I can't eat, I can't drink, I can't do anything. So I lose 20 pounds every time. So that's why being healthy, diet, nutrition is so important to me.
Bro, thank you, man. This is inspiring, brother.
Of course.
I look forward to following that
Of
journey,
course,
man.
of course. Thank you.
Good luck with everything.
See you guys. Jason, was that
Yeah,
your name?
yeah.
Pleasure, bro.
Pleasure's all
I heard
mine,
you
bro.
talk about doing uncomfortable things, and
Yeah.
I say the same thing. And for medical school, your 4th year, it's kind of up to you what you want your schedule to be.
Yeah.
So for me, instead of staying in Philly, that's where school is, like a lot of my friends did, I was like, let me put myself in these uncomfortable positions. So I started in Philly for 1 month, South Carolina a month, Dallas, Texas for a month, Florida for a month. So instead of staying comfortable with programs that I'm used to, I was like, let me put myself in all these new environments, and you get some of the coolest experiences, and you get to do cool, hard things when you're in these new environments too.
And you learn a lot about who you are.
Exactly.
Jory, you got a Instagram?
Of course. Jory Parson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plug in, man.
I appreciate you guys.
No,
That was
that's
sick to do. I feel you always see that thing, you run into somebody,
Yeah.
or I hear it, and then it's like, okay, wow, that cool thing just
It
happened.
just happened.
Yeah, flowed, man, and so I was like, nah, let's take advantage of this
Yeah,
opportunity,
definitely.
man. So, man, hey, good luck on
That's
your journey,
sick. Thank
man.
you, guys.
Definitely
Thank
nice
you.
meeting you, man.
Definitely.
Be well, man.
Have a
out,
good one,
bro.
guys, for sure. So as you just saw, that was a pretty sick random encounter that I just had. I feel like you always see those online. Somebody doing the thing, and then another person comes up to you and you just have this unreal interaction. I saw these two guys recording each other, talking about doing uncomfortable things and putting yourself in these uncomfortable environments. And it just reminds me of how I spent the beginning of my 4th year in medical school. You know, I could have done my away rotations or my sub-Is staying in Philly, but instead I wanted to give myself the best possible experience, and I knew that meant putting myself in these uncomfortable environments. So that's why I did my first sub-I in Philly, then I went down to Spartanburg, South Carolina, then Dallas, then Boca, then Lehigh Valley. And I think you learn a lot about yourself and who you are and who you can become by putting yourself in these uncomfortable environments, because you're forced to. You're forced to grow, and putting yourself in these hard, uncomfortable environments facilitates personal growth. I think I learned a lot about myself and the things that I'm capable of, and those experiences led me to who I am now and what I'm currently doing. When I was away, I brought my bike with me, and I'm generally a more introverted person, and to go out by myself and do things and meet new people is always a little scary to me. But bringing my bike with me when I did these sub-Is, I joined group rides everywhere I went. When I was in Spartanburg, I went down to Greenville, and I did group rides multiple times. On 12 hours of notice, I did my second century bike ride ever with Will in Texas. Insane experience. I drove 16 hours through the night, slept for 2 hours, and then we did this beautiful, insane 100-mile bike ride in Texas. And then when I was in Dallas, I joined the Breakfast Club for group rides. Same in Boca. I joined the Boca Raton Cycling Club, and I did a group ride with them down the A1A. It's just so, it's scary, it's hard, it's stressful to put yourself in these hard, uncomfortable environments, but you become a better person at the end of the day when you do. So it's funny when I run into these guys, Jason, and they're talking about doing uncomfortable things. And then they came up to me because they saw the little camera, and then they wanted to do a little interview with me. And it's funny when they become inspired by my story. So that's ultimately why I do the things that I do. and I make these little videos and I have fun recording myself because I hope that my story can inspire people to do hard things and to challenge themselves and to persevere and to be resilient. So it's crazy that I've already inspired somebody to sign up for their first Ironman 70.3. Wow, I can't believe that just happened. Well, we're a little over 5 miles into the run. I'm gonna eat my first goo, finish out this run, and then head home for some lunch. All right, let's go finish up this run. Let's make this a little faster on the way back. I stopped too many times to record, so let's get this done. Miles complete. Pace 11:01, so right in my range of 10:35 to 11:15. Took me an hour and 50 minutes. There was a lot of stopping and starting, trying to film and having that interview. First half felt great. Last few miles, my hip was starting to kill me. It's always something with running, always some type of injury, but my feet felt great for the first time. Nutrition, hydration, all that was good, but my left hip was starting to hurt. So I gotta figure that one out. Maybe I gotta stretch it out a little bit better. But that is 10 miles around Baltimore City, Inner Harbor.